house robots are back for another series of Robot Wars. Matilda, the matriarch of mayhem, with the flipping tusks and flywheel tail. Dead Metal with the circular saw blade and crushing pincers. Sergeant Bash with the claw grip and the fiery flamethrower. Shunt with the diamond-edged pickaxe and bulldozer scoop and ram. Sir Killalot with the rotating corkscrew lance and the jaws of death. And the refbot to keep them all in line. Or not, as the case may be, as Mr. Psycho and Growler storm the arena. Mr. Psycho is ready to bring the hammer down on anyone who gets in his way, and Growler, well, his bite's much worse than his bark. We're starting things off here in Heat A with 4 opening round matches. We've got Lizzard, Lethal Swan, Namazu, Hard, Project 2, Hexam, Meshuga, Blackdevil Warzone and Nita, all vying for a place in our Heat final. Lizzard did very well in the first Dutch Robot Wars, and they're looking to try and recapture some of that success and maybe go all the way this time around. Project 2 Hexam has a very unusual design, and the pneumatic flipper to send any opponents flying if they get too close to the wrong side of it. Our teams in this opening round contest looking on, giving the audience a little wave, all the smiles and happiness soon about to dissolve and give way to tears as Sergeant Bash prepares to turn up the heat and Shunt gets ready to bring down the axe. The first battle of the second series of Robot Wars, the Dutch battles, is now underway. Lizzard looking a little sluggish here. Then again, so too is Project 2 Hexam. Lizzard perhaps a little tentative. That flail tail is its signature weapon. You may not think it to look at the design, but it was very successful for the team last time around. Very well driven machine. Shunt there bringing down the pickaxe on top of Project 2 Hexam. And again, unusual design, kind of deflecting that second blow. Oh, Lizzard's lost an eye. One of the great traditions of Dutch Robot Wars. The pit has been activated. If either robot falls down the pit of oblivion, they are instantly eliminated from the contest. Lizzard getting in on the attack there. Shunt now and Sergeant Bash double teaming Project 2 Hexam, who's looking incredibly sluggish, it has to be said. Don't forget, of course, any robot that wanders too close to the corner patrol zones, the CPZ, well, their lives are in the hands of the house robots. Because at that point, it's all legal for our metallic marauders to get involved. Lizzard swinging that tail there. Looked like it picked up a little bit of fire over our flame pit. It's the only thing worse than being hit in the face with fire. Refbot having a little cursory look here. I don't think that the Refbot's especially confident that Project 2 Hexam is actually going anywhere at this point. The team toying with the controls, but to no avail. Refbot now starting the count to 10. If Refbot counts to 10, then Project 2 Hexam will be counted out of the match and the contest. And yes, indeed, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the first decision of this Wars. Lizzard will advance to the next round of the competition, but now the house robots get to have their fun. Shunt eyeing up the drop zone there. X marks the spot. A big gas cooker dropped from the heavens onto Project 2 Meshuga. Bits of machinery and parts of cooker and robot alike crumpling all over the arena floor there. Talk about adding injury to insult. Now the house robot's looking ready to dispatch of Project 2 Hexam down the pit of oblivion. Goodbye. Lizzard through to the next round. Shunt seems happy at the very least. Oh, so does Refbot. The next match of the evening will see the Lethal Swan take on Meshuggah. And that one's coming up next. Meshuggah has a devastating vertical flywheel and an excellent design that means it can run at pretty much any direction it gets flipped or tossed around the arena. Lethal Swan may look like a comedy robot, but it's a fully redesigned machine from its last appearance here in Dutch Robot Wars. Will it be a sitting duck? Yes, I'm aware it's a different kind of bird. Lethal Swan's team hoping to wing it to victory here. But Mr. Psycho may be about to feather his nest with the blood of destroyed robots. And Sir Killalot, all too happy to cook somebody's goose. That's enough bird puns anyway. Let's get down to the action. Lethal Swan pecking away there. Elevation, the design of the neck of the Swan, it does make it look rather regal, but unfortunately it's a very unusual angle. It's going to be difficult for them to do any much damage. Meshuggah there. Oh! A side panel flying off. Strike from that flywheel doing loads of great damage there. Oh, and tips the Lethal Swan over. Can they self-right? I'm not sure if that neck acts as a SREMEC, a self-righting mechanism. They're certainly trying. But I wonder if from that particular angle, it's just not doable. I suspect it's supposed to act as a SREMEC, but they've not taken into account that this angle could be one they find themselves at. Well, there's really no coming back from this. And I don't imagine for 1 second Meshuggah is going to be kind enough to self-right them. Refbot now forced to come in for a look. Going to start that countdown. Get him out of here. The audience, bloodthirsty though they are, they've seen enough. Very decisive victory for Meshuggah here. Through to the second round with an impressive display. Meshuggah quite big and bulky, almost cumbersome, but it's the weight behind those attacks that really made the difference here. Kill up, picking up Lethal Swan, another side panel coming off there. Oh, Mr. Psycho, bringing the hammer down. The audience love it. Of course they do. They're all mad. Oh no, you horrible rotter. You can't chop its head off? No! Oh, go on then. Almost cruel. Don't you know swans are a protected bird? I suppose that's only in the UK, isn't it? It doesn't really apply to the Netherlands. Kill now placing the Lethal Swan on the arena floor flipper. Lethal Swan looks like it's going to fly again, just like it did in the first series. There we go. straight into Mr. Psycho, and down comes the hammer once again. Oh, beaten, battered, bruised, bullies, frankly, by our house robots, Lethal Swan. Almost pitiable, isn't it? Well, let's see the funny side in it anyway. That's what Robot Wars is all about. It's all about having a good time, having a laugh. The audience certainly having a laugh at this display. Meshuggah through to the next round. Shortly coming up, Hard versus Nita, but first Namazu versus Blackdevil Warzone. Namazu is a walker robot, which means it has a higher weight restriction to give it extra bulk, but suffers therefore from lower mobility. Blackdevil Warzone, meanwhile, no such mobility issues, and a lovely vertical drum spinner attached to the front looks set to tear apart any robot that gets in its way. This one should be very interesting. Walker robots have very rarely had any kind of luck in Robot Wars. Here's Mr. Psycho once again, the heaviest of all the house robots. And Growler, his pet pooch, ready to sink his teeth into the competition. Very rare you see a walker in Robot Wars, and the mobility and the speed is basically why. I mean, it's a beautiful, wonderful feat of engineering, and I love the trilobite kind of design to it. It's a gorgeous machine, but I'm really not sure that Namazu has much chance in our Warzone here. Blackdevil Warzone. Drum is up to speed and just puff down the side there of Namazu. Thing is, of course, as I said, the greater weight restriction granted to walkers means that, oi! Stop scratching up our arena floor. Stop it! It means they're a little bit bulkier, a little bit heavier, a little bit harder to smash through, even for a heavyweight robot like Blackdevil Warzone. Namazu, really, can you stop tearing the arena floor up? There's really no need. So untidy. Somebody's got to clean that up, you know. Oh, Blackdevil Warzone activating the pitch release button. Namazu impaled itself on the arena floor here. It looks like they are going absolutely nowhere. Wheels, legs, whatever. It's made no difference here. The end result is counted out, and look, the waiting maw of Growler. We've absolutely seen enough. The speed of Growler, though, look at that. A little flame-grilled Namazu, anybody? Mr. Psycho bringing down the mighty, weighty hammer once again. As Growler dutifully holds his prey and gets rid of it down a big hole. Good boy. Blackdevil Warzone through to the next round of the competition. Nita, a very interesting looking design here. Almost looks like it's made out of a construction kit, or there's bits of random metal sticking out of it. Will the design work in its favour? Well, it has good armor. It has a big whacking great axe. I'll tell you something, this robot is hard. I'll talk about hard though. Winning a battle to get into the second round of this heat is not going to be anything but hard for our competitors here tonight, especially with Matilda, the matriarch of mayhem, watching on, joined once again by Growler. Not sure who I'd rather meet down a dark alley, truthfully. And we are underway with the final battle of the first round of this heat. Nita, a very interesting design. Another axe bot, of course. So this is axe versus axe. You note the way the panels on the front of Nita are shaped to sort of deflect any oncoming robot, and they have that triangular piece of metal there to block a robot from getting in too close, keeping them at exactly the right length for the axe to come down there. Hard, on the other hand. The armour designed to deflect blows. You can see a couple of the panels have already taken a little damage. They've buckled a bit, but the machine itself still running just fine. The way that different Roboteers approach these engineering challenges, trying to find the best possible design that they can, it really is one of the most remarkable things about Robot Wars. Oh, grab it straight in! Lingering too long in the corner patrol zone, both competitors, very foolish behaviour. Hard, possibly knocked pure unconscious here. Well, not even knock a robot unconscious, but you know what I mean. Certainly they're not moving. Refbot coming in for a look, but Growler still able to reach Hard from its position in the CPZ. This is completely legal. Growler now out of the corner, must release Hard. And does so. That's a good pooch. He's been well trained. To me, though, this seems entirely academic. I think Refbot agrees. The count has begun. That one blow from Growler obviously knocked something loose inside of Hard. And Nita officially joins the rest of the robots in round 2. With a celebratory spin there, as is Robot Wars tradition, of course. Matilda with a big flip there. Sending Hard back right way up, but to no avail. Refbot activating the pit there. Doesn't matter which way up Hard are now, they're not moving in any direction, other than perhaps to go down. Ah, slight problem there, Growler. Axe wedged over the other side of the arena wall. Growler's just about to give up, bless him. Well, there's really no freeing Hard from that particular position. Even Refbot can't do anything about it. Wow, what a sad and sorry end for Hard. Nita through to round 2. Hard clinging on in there, though. Confirmation then of the final results for round 1. Lizzard, Meshuga, Blackdevil Warzone, and Nita make it through. Here's how they line up. Coming up shortly, Blackdevil Warzone taking on Nita, but first, Lizzard versus a Meshuga. Should be an interesting semi-final, this one. I think we're yet to see the full potential of Meshuga. Sir Killart, ready to test any robot's potential, of course, and so is Dead Metal in the arena for the first time tonight. The circular saw blade and the pincers. I think it has to be said, Meshuga had kind of an easy fight against Lethal Swan. Now we know that Lizzard is a very good robot, a very tenacious, very determined robot. Oh! Of course, the tail, while it is their primary weapon, it's not the most well-armoured part of Lizzard. Yellow eyes now falling off. True Lizzard fashion. Meshuggah showing the world what it can do. Taking on this extremely capable, competent competitor in the form of Lizzard. We know Lizzard are a good robot. But so far they've done, I'd say about 0 damage here. Two machines now locking up like great boxers entering into a clinch. Lizzard is going to have to do a lot of work to pull this back around, ladies and gentlemen. And the other eyes come off. I think the tails come off as well. Oh no, it's still just barely hanging on by a thread. So Killalot now getting involved, picking up the tired and weary looking Lizzard. A lethargic Lizzard, if you will. Very nearly bumping into the arena angle grinder. I'd like to get his tail stuck in that, I'm fairly sure. Has to be said though, the main chassis of Lizzard, very tough, well-armoured bit of robot. So while Meshuga has got lots of hits in, they haven't caused a great deal of damage. And I don't think, to be totally truthful, that that flywheel has really gotten up to its full potential in this bout. It's almost turning into a pushing contest at this stage. And it's going to be a pushing contest that pushes the limits of this match. Which is going to mean it's going to have to go to a judge's decision, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to have to pick which of these two robots is going through to the heat final. Our panel of judges, Matt Irvine, Martin Smith, and head judge Professor Noel Sharkey will be grading these robots on style, control, damage and aggression. They've made their decision, and controversy reigns on Robot Wars as they've gone for Lizzard. I thought Meshuga had that in the bag for sure. Confirmation then that Lizzard advancing through to the heat final. Controversy reigns once more. Blackdevil Warzone taking on Nita up next. I have to say, I think Nita is going to have an uphill battle here. I cannot imagine how they're going to cause any real damage to Blackdevil Warzone because of this unusual design that it has. Speaking of unusual designs, here's Dead Metal in the arena. And Growler, of course. Well, I don't know if he's necessarily unusual, but certainly cool. Either way, this match now underway. Nippy little spinning around there from both robots, sizing one another up. Nita, because of its design and because of its weapon, has to get very precise angles to attack its opponent. It's going to have to face the top of Blackdevil Warzone, which I suspect is probably going to be one of the most well-armoured parts of that machine. So for Nita, this one could just be a case of skillful driving and avoiding the drum spinner on the front of Blackdevil Warzone there. So far we've seen that. They've gone mostly for the side. Blackdevil Warzone trying to push things round and get a frontal assault, but to no avail. Nita perhaps aiming for those tyres there. Blackdevil Warzone designed to work both ways up an invertible robot. And because of that design, it means that the tyres can be struck whether it's on the top or the bottom. A precision shot from that axe could do the trick. So far, Nita driving expertly to avoid the drum spinner, which is now being raised against the angle grinders on the side of the arena there. Blackdevil Warzone really struggling here. Surely Nita had to be the underdogs in this match. And speaking of dogs, Growler getting involved now. That's a little bit too aggressive from Growler. Blackdevil Warzone. Barely any life left in that dog. I think it's time for it to be put down. Refbot starting its 10 count. Blackdevil Warzone counted out of the match and out of the competition. Nita, a surprise upset victory, I have to say. But in the end, skillful driving is one of the most important things any Roboteer can have in their arsenal. And it's what's won this match for Nita here. On paper, Blackdevil Warzone had that 1-1. But in practice, well, like I say, quite the upset. So then our heat final is between Lizzard and Nita to find this series' first grand finalist. Not really the heat final I thought we were going to get. I'm very surprised to see Lizzard here. I'm very surprised to see Nita here for two different reasons, I have to say. But I have been very impressed with both robots. Sir Kill-A-Lot, well, it takes a lot to impress him. Maybe Matilda could impress him with a display from her tusks or her flywheel. Who knows? Who knows what these robots get up to when the cameras stop rolling? I'd rather not find out. Anyway, our first heat final of the series is now underway. Lizzard's eye is now white, once again falling off. Camouflage tail attached to the back of Lizzard. They flail around. Nita really not sure quite how to approach this one. Lizzard have that experience, they have the driving skill. Nita, there we go, flinging down the axe on top of Lizzard. But, as alluded to previously, the top of the main chassis, generally one of the most well-protected parts of any given robot, which is one of the great dilemmas that an Axebot will always face. You'll find that there are two kinds of Axebots in Robot Wars. A concussive Axebot, which deals internal damage. Against a robot like Lizzard, that would be very useful. Here we have a penetrative axe, however, and a superb shot from the axe right to the tyre of Lizzard. Beautiful marksmanship. That's pretty much the... Oh! Bits flying off of the robots here. Lizzard's eyes once again come off. Expert shots onto those tyres. Probably going to be the best way that Nita can hope to pull off victory here. They are absolutely nailing these shots, it's got to be said. It's pretty much the only way they're going to be able to put Lizzard away. And they're doing a very good job so far of aiming those swings from the axe just right. Lots of good aggression from Nita in this one. Lizzard going for the pit release button, and down it comes. Tilda getting in position there for a little closer look of the action. Oh, the crowd wants someone to go down the pit. Very evenly matched here. In different ways. The aggression has all been Nita. The damage, such as it is, has all been Nita, but the style and control, I dare say, has been Lizzard. The judges may have a harder time picking a winner here than you might think. And of course, we've already seen a controversial decision here tonight. It seems to me that neither one of these robots is going to nail the knockout blow before the match timer ends. So the judges are indeed going to have that difficult decision ahead of them. Lizzard just scraping the arena angle grinders there. The cease is called. And once again, we find ourselves asking the judges who they think deserves to go through. Let's have a look at a couple of highlights there. Some good driving from both robots. Both of them sort of spinning out of the way of one another's weapons. Expertly placed attacks from that axe blade of Nita. Very much an impressive part of their repertoire this evening. Lizzard, though, with a couple of clubbing blows of their own. I think this one's actually a little bit closer than you might think. Poor driving there by Lizzard, failing to get out of the CPZ. The judges have made their decision, and based on style, control, damage and aggression, going in to the grand final is Lizzard. Next time, 8 more robots vie for a place in the series grand final. Only one of them can join Lizzard. Who's it going to be? Don't ask me. It's all double Dutch to me.